Welcome to another version of Your Pleasure Incorporated into Daily Living, the next chapter of Becoming the Greatest Physical Lover. Tonight, the topic is touch and the sensuality of touch. You know, skin is our chief extragenital sexual organ, grossly underrated by most men who tend just to concentrate on either the penis or the clitoris. But the smell and feel of a man's skin is very, very enticing and exciting to the female psyche. And that's partly because his scent comes through that skin. And if his pheromones match her pheromones, then the sexual chemistry is already present. So, I don't know why anybody would deny that. If a woman does not like the way you smell, no matter what kind of cologne you put on, she's not going to want to make love with you. But if she does like the way you smell, then she's going to be much more interested. So skin stimulation is a major component in sensual and sexual play. It triggers a whole range of sexual feelings, and massage in particular expresses so much more than words could ever say. So tonight, I want to talk about two sexual techniques that have to do with the sense of touch. The first one is called Pate de Danye. And Pate de Danye literally means spider's legs. It is when a person is touching another person on the skin very, very lightly. Not so much the skin as the baby hairs on top of the skin, and moving with super, super light touch from one end of the body to the other. Touching around the breasts or chest and nipples, touching around the abdomen, belly button, through the loins, down through the inner thighs, and barely touching every part of the body from top to bottom with a super light touch that does not include touching the genitals, which makes it such an indescribably intense anticipation, because there's so much energy being generated just by running your hands up and down a person's body. The electrical charge in that person's body will definitely raise up. Now, it is not the easiest technique to learn how to do, but if you practice it, it is one of the most unforgettable sensual experiences that we can give to each other. And it is a whole body orgasm from the top of the head to the soles of the feet, because you have generated the sexual energy, the light energy that we all are. I know we all look solid, but we are energy. E equals MC squared. I hate to say it, people don't want to hear it, but the bottom line is we are energy. And by doing this technique, you're actually raising up the energy of the body, which sends explosions of tension to the genitals, to the breasts, to the brain, everywhere. So it is a super exciting way to have some of the most delicious, phenomenal, mind-blowing foreplay you will ever have. And it's the kind of technique that you just get better and better and better at the more you practice it. So it's definitely something to practice because it's just phenomenal. There's another technique that is also very sensual, and not everybody likes it, but for those people that do, it really is quite exquisite, and it's called a tongue bath. So a tongue bath is when one person will start on their stomach, and then the other person takes nice long licks up and down, especially around the super sensitive areas of the body. So they're going to cover every inch, say from the heels up, And, especially behind the knees, that's a major erogenous zone. Around the buttocks, that's a very sensitive area. Up through the armpits, very, very sensitive area. And if those areas are being licked and touched with the tongue, it is all the more arousing, because the tongue has a completely different sensation than fingertips or than any other body part. So, of course, both partners have to be very, very clean. I would suggest you guys shower together so that you know that you're both extremely clean for this fun. But it's like nothing else. It really is quite exciting. And after you do the back of the person's body, you kind of flip them over, and then you do the front. And again, every body part except genitals. And then when you finally get to genitals, whether they're male or female, they're going to be so full of blood, so aroused, so excited that, it's not going to be very difficult to arouse an orgasm from there. So those are two phenomenal techniques that I love to share with you. If you found any kind of inspiration or information from this video, please like and please subscribe and please share with your friends. Of course, 18 and over, we don't want children watching this. And visit my website at yourpleasure.com. It'll reroute you to a bigger site. All the information is there, lots of different information on technique, sexual play, foreplay, erogenous zones, it's all there. So if you have a topic for me, please send your questions to ypi69@hotmail.com. It would be my pleasure to answer those questions for you. So thank you very much for joining me for this episode of Your Pleasure, incorporated into daily living, and this next chapter of becoming the greatest physical lover. This is your host, Ellen Nicholas Rathbone, sensuality consultant with Your Pleasure Incorporated, and advocate for pleasure, for sexual play, for love of self, and for freedom of expression. When it comes to love of yourself or others, there's nothing wrong with that. So be good to yourself and love yourself first and foremost. And don't forget to do your Kegels. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Your Pleasure. Hope to see you next week. Bye for now.